Hello, this is Darnell from Porsche of Ocala. Just wanted to take a moment to show you the 2017 Porsche Macan S. This particular one is in Carrera white metallic and has the black and garnet red interior. It's a very well equipped vehicle. Just wanted to go over some of the standard equipment as well as optional equipment that are available on the Macan S. The Macan S is powered by a 3-liter V6 twin-turbo engine that produces 340 horsepower and 339 pound-foot of torque. So it's very responsive when you need it to be. Starting up front, you have your fog lights as standard on the Macan. You have active flaps inside the grille, so as you can see they're open so you can see the intercooler. Those flaps will open and close on their own to help control the airflow that's going into the intercooler, as well as directing the air through channels in the hood so that you're getting the air to your intake system. Everything's functional on these vehicles. For the headlights, you do have xenon headlights as standard. This has the PDLS, which is a Porsche Dynamic Light System. So you have the 4-point LED daytime running lights, which are standard, and then the xenon headlight, which is standard, but you also get a cornering light, so when you start to turn the wheel, the light will turn to help you see better around the corner, as well as your fog lights coming on to help with visibility. This does have the RS Spider design wheels, which is one of the more popular wheels on the vehicle because of the way they look and give it this very sporty look to the car. This vehicle has the Premium Package Plus. The PDLS is one of the things that you get with the Premium Package Plus. Another thing is you get the Porsche Entry and Drive. So on each door handle, you have a spot where you can touch to lock it, which is right here. And then you can put your hand inside the door handle to unlock it using a sensor that's in the handle. Going around to the back, a very sporty design with the Macan S. Again, everything is functional, so the spoilers to help with the aerodynamics of the vehicle. You have 3D designed tail lights on the Macan S, and the whole purpose of that is so that the tail lights pretty much pop for the person that's behind you. You do have your 4 exhaust tips or your quad tips on the back of the Macan S to give it a sportier look as well as a very aggressive sound. As of 2017, parking sensors as well as a backup camera became standard. So you have 4 sensors in the rear, 4 sensors up front. And in the luggage compartment, you automatically get these 4 tie downs. So if in case you had anything in the back, you could always secure it. You have a spare tire underneath. With the Premium Package Plus, you got the Bose surround sound system. So here's your subwoofer back here. As a standard with the power tailgate, you get this button here that's on the left, which is just going to close the tailgate. Also, to allow you to adjust the height of the tailgate, because obviously having this thing go all the way up is not going to be convenient for everyone or for every garage that you put the vehicle into. So you can literally move it within inches and then press and hold the button and it will store in the memory of the vehicle. The button on the right is going to actually close and lock the vehicle. Okay, we'll continue going around. Let's take a look at this garnet red interior. There's not too much red on it. They really did a very good job of putting just the right amount of red with the black and Bordeaux red. You have vents in the rear for your passengers, and they can adjust the temperature using the toggle in the center, even by just a few degrees. And you have heated seats in the rear, which comes with the Premium Package Plus. You have your 2 USB ports in the rear, so your rear passengers can plug in any device that they have. Okay, going up front, it's a very elegant interior. You have the 14-way power seat with the memory package. So you have 2 memory settings for the seat, and then you have a memory setting for the key, so that when you change your settings, you can hit the key button and it'll store in the memory. That way you don't have to change it every time you get into the vehicle. This vehicle does have the lane change assist, which is an additional option. So I'm going to press the button, which is here on the door panel. You press this button, the light comes on. The whole purpose of this light is it uses a radar system that's in the rear of the car. So when someone comes up in your blind spot, it's actually going to light up and let you know that you can't actually switch lanes. Now, if you did use your signal and you were going to switch lanes, the system would then rapidly flash the light. That way you knew not to switch over. And Porsche's placed it in a very good location. Most manufacturers put it over on the outside of the mirror. They put it on the inside. That way it's right in your periphery. You don't actually have to turn your head to see it. Going inside the vehicle, you have the same instrument cluster that you would on the Caymans and the Boxsters. The whole idea behind the Macan was to make a raised up sports car so it doesn't feel like your traditional SUV. The most important out of these clusters is the TFT, which is going to be the one that's in the right hand side. And you can control that using the multifunction steering wheel, which they took the design from the 918 Spider. On the left hand side you got your volume control, a button to answer the phone, and then this diamond shaped button, which is your steering wheel button, so you can change certain functions for the steering wheel. And I can go back to that in a minute. On the right side you have a button to hang up the phone, your back button, and then the roller to actually control the TFT. And the roller is actually a button as well, so you can push it in to select the item that you're highlighting. This vehicle does have quite a bit of equipment on the inside. It does have the touchscreen navigation. The touchscreen navigation was changed in 2017. They added a proximity sensor, so as soon as your hand gets close to the screen, it's going to bring up the menu, because this gives it more of a clean look as opposed to the original setup. Okay, going down, you do have dual zone climate control standard up front. This vehicle is all-wheel drive, so you get a couple things that are a little additional. Your hill descent, which is going to help you safely get down a hill if you need it. And you have your off-road mode. All your climate control settings are right here. It makes it very easy to access everything. This vehicle does have the Sport Chrono package, so with that you're going to get a few things. As a standard, the vehicle has a sport mode. When you have Sports Chrono, you have the Sport Plus mode. You also get upgraded engine mounts, and then you have the lap timer that's now built into the car. And you can access the lap timer through the TFT display, and then you have the clock here on the dash turns into a lap timer as well, so it functions as both. With the Premium Package Plus, you do have the heated and ventilated seats on the driver and passenger side, as well as the Bose surround sound I mentioned before. You have your PSM, which is your Porsche Stability Management as standard. You have your off-road mode. You have your lane departure warning, so when you start to drift out of a lane, the car will alert you. And then you have your automatic start and stop function, which is absolutely phenomenal feature that Porsche has now added to their vehicles for a few years now. So when you come to a stop, the engine will shut down to conserve fuel. Now there's a lot of systems in play to make sure that this works properly. So the system will only shut off when it seems that it's necessary. So it won't stay off for longer than a minute, and it won't do it at every stoplight that you go to or every stop sign. And then that also gives you a coasting function, which works with the transmission. This transmission's from the sports cars. It's a Porsche double clutch, which is another thing that makes the Macan very unique. Most SUVs don't have double clutch transmission, so this is going to allow for the car to shift faster, a lot smoother. And the whole purpose behind that is to give you better efficiency as well as performance from the vehicle. So that, in combination with the automatic start and stop, the engine will disengage from the transmission, so that you have a coasting function while you're slowing down, and that'll help you save on fuel. Going back to the TFT display, it's very simple to operate. Again, you use the roller that's on the steering wheel. So you have your radio stations, you have your phone options, so you can view your contacts as well as call history and dial out from there. You have your map that's available. And you can change the layout just like you can on the nav screen. You have your navigation option, which is going to show you your previous destinations. And then once you're utilizing the navigation system itself, it'll show you your turn-by-turn directions. You have your trip computer, the tire pressure, torque distribution. Since this is all-wheel drive, it shows you how the power is going from the rear to the front, to show you how the car is actually correcting the steering, which is actually pretty fascinating. Then here's the lap timer that I mentioned. And then you go right back around to the vehicle menu that you can customize. So right now it's showing oil temperature, coolant temperature, and oil pressure, which you can change to show battery voltage, compass, fuel range. It's a number of things that you can change it to. And this will also give you access to your settings menu. So the Porsche is really focused on making it so that you don't have to take your hands off the wheel, keep it as safe as possible. Okay, and let's go up front, just look under the hood for a second, and take another final look at the Macan. Now the hood is a very unique design. You see it kind of wraps a little bit around the fender, wraps around the headlights. Okay, when you open the hood, there's a few things that stand out. They have the channels that I mentioned before. So this is where the air goes and is redirected into your intake system. A very big strut brace going across. Very solid engine mounts, and this is to help keep the car sturdy. So when you're going around turns, whether at low speeds or high speeds, the vehicle is going to stay as flat as can be. It will give you better stability. Okay. Again, this is 2017 Macan S. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, my name is Darnell. Thank you.